enjoyed another video, get into some of our first Season 12 Go Battle League battles taking place in the Open Great League meta. In today's video, I'm going to be featuring one of the newly updated mons in the form of Surf Lanturn. Lanturn was given access to the charge move of Surf through this most recent update, and now instead of having its only water move access being Hydro Pump, a move that was 75 energy, it now has a much cheaper energy move in the form of Surf that requires 40 energy. It's actually worse DPE wise, but at least with getting access to Surf, Lanturn now has a more accessible charge move pool, so it can take advantage of both of its typings, either throwing Thunderbolts for its electric stab or throwing Surfs for its water stab. And we used it in our actual last sets of some Open Great League battles for the first day of Season 12, and I paired it with Altaria and Registeel, a very meta team, because I want to utilize Lanturn to the best of its abilities and showcase how good it is and how great of a comp this is with Lanturn. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's jump immediately into this video. But yes, today on my live stream, again, Twitch is in the description of this video, Twitch link at least, I ended up doing 5 sets, each with a different newly updated mon, and this was the most meta of the teams, the most realistic one for consistent success, and also all of them featured the newly updated mods and now what they can do with the adjustments to their move pools. Anyhow, getting to this first match, you'll notice we had a terrible lead. It was Altaria into Azumarill. We could not swap into our hard counter of Lanturn, so we had to go to our other, still kind of hardish counter of Registeel, and we got met by a hard counter to Registeel in the form of a Alolan Marowak. Now, the ideal thing that worked out here is because the fact that we called the Bone Club, I'm pretty sure that's what happened in this match, we're able to survive and get a shield off the Marowak with a Zap Cannon. We then come back in with Altaria. We're going for the farm down. We decided, because we know we can't flip switch, that we're going to go for the shield advantage, and then we swap into our Lanturn, not expecting them to have another good answer to electric damage to cover their Azumarill. And because of the fact they're staying with the Azumarill, it sure is looking like they do not have that coverage I'm referring to. So we're just going to go straight Thunderbolt here. We're not going to use any Surfs here, not even for the funsies. There's no point in baiting, because Thunderbolt is only a little bit more energy than Surf, and for whatever reason, if you end up landing a Surf and it goes unshielded, that would be super unideal depending on the circumstances, especially in these circumstances. Even though we kind of hardwalled them, easy GG. We didn't even get to figure out their third mon was. They ended up top lefting because Lanturn core broke their comp so hard. Getting into the next matchup, I felt like I was having deja vu with, again, an Altaria into another Azumarill lead. Save swap into the Reggie. We get met with, again, another hard counter to our Reggie, but this hard counter, similar to the Alolan Marowak, does struggle to take out Registeel on the 0 shields, so we're able to get off a Zap Cannon, get this shield from them, and essentially we're going to try to get to another move here. We're not going to be able to get to the Zap Cannon. We have to throw the Focus Blast. This will be resisted. They're aiming for the farm down. Buzzwole, a little classy, or pretty classy in Great League, doesn't really tank the Focus Blast all that well. But again, we at least get shield advantage, which is so huge with this newly formed Lanturn, because of the fact that we're able to throw consistent water and electric damage no matter what mon we're going up against. It allows Lanturn to have a bunch of success considering the circumstances. And as you'll notice there, as you came back into the Altaria, and they were clearly not ready for some Lanturn action. So we're going to be able to essentially core break their team. Lanturn's going to sweep. Again, Surf not paying us too many dividends here, but at least because of it getting access to Surf, it now has more viability in Open Great League, which means you can run it more comfortably and then core break comps like this along the way with the electric damage. Honestly, after this update, after this move update with the new GBL season, it feels like a lot of people are going to need to put some more respect on the electric typing. As you'll notice, Lanturn's literally just sweeping. I have both my shields. I really don't even need to use this shield, but at this point, I'm just, being respectful. It's also first day of battles. And again, these were my last battles after I'd done really well on my Twitch stream with a lot of the other teams. So my hidden elo, because I don't know if you know that, even though you don't see your elo when you're doing your Go Battle League battles before rank 20, there is technically a hidden one there. These battles became more meta and essentially a little bit more intense, except for when, Lanturn's core breaking and putting in that work. Now, getting into this next matchup, this Pokemon specifically, and it is one of the most meta Pokemon in the Open Great League, is the biggest issue for this entire team comp. We do get pretty core broken by Galarian Stunfisk, but it is to note that what you could essentially help and adjust on this team comp to not be as weak to it is, instead of running Spark on Lanturn, you could run Water Gun. And that's another thing that I really like about this update and it getting Surf is because with Water Gun doesn't generate energy as well, but now it's possible to at least get some other water damage off, and it would have been a much better matchup for our Lanturn against this Galarian Sunfisk if we were water gunning it right now instead of sparking. So if you do like this comp, there is the issue of running into Galarian Sunfisk lead. If you run into it in the swap, Lanturn still plays pretty well with Spark, but you could also go with Water Gun to make that a little bit more of a guaranteed 1v1 type matchup. But again, because of Surf, it makes Water Gun even more viable. It technically always had its little viability, but with Surf being a much cheaper move, Water Guns can generate the energy to get to the charge move of Surf more consistently. Also, you'll notice I built up to a Surf and then swapped. The Charm Gramble, I had a feeling, had a charge move, so I wanted to keep the Lanturn alive just with the little bit of copium I had to try and win this match. And honestly, it turns out that I just completely sacrificed my Altaria. If I would just throw in the Surf, I take out the Gramble, and then I outpace the Stunfisk and would have taken it out. Their last mon ends up being Lanturn, and literally Altaria had nowhere to go. So if I play that a little bit better, potentially could have worked around the Galarian Sunfisk lead, and of course, you know, their entire team countered Altaria, so what was I really supposed to do at that point? For that specific team comp. Getting into this next match, we have Altaria going up against a Swampert lead. Altaria loves this lead a lot. Also, if you run Water Gun on your Lanturn, you have a much better matchup against Swamperts. They need to land the Earthquake in order to essentially win that matchup, and it makes Sludge Wave less and less viable as a Swampert move set because, again, like I said, Lanturn getting access to Surf. You know, I'm just trying to explain all the little things I got, at least through this collection of battles, with upgraded Surf Lanturn in the Open Great League meta. I forgot how this matchup started. Oh, I had a positive lead, and then they swapped into Gramble, and I countered that with Registeel, and I slaughtered their Gramble because they didn't commit to it because it was running Charm. They come in with Medi here, they counter me down, but because Medicham already took a Zap Cannon, I'd have dealt a bunch of damage. I don't even think I got the debuff there, but of course, with Spark, maybe to spam some Surfs. If I had Water Gun, I could have fast moved down. At least we don't have to go all the way up to a Thunderbolt to take out the Medi here. They come back in with their Swampert. We have Altaria. We're not worried about the Mud Shot damage. It's double resisted. And of course, we have a bunch of energy from before when they swapped in. Listen, I'm trying to get back on this YouTube thing. It's only been a few videos. I've never been super spectacular at this commentating. I'm going to have my hiccups. Hopefully, as I practice more, it makes perfect. But essentially, we end up Dragon Breathing down the Swampert. They come in with the Medi. I get a little overconfident and go for a Dragon Breath down, and then I got slightly worried because I wasted the Sky Attack, but then I realized how much health my Lanturn had, and we were still sitting pretty, and I end up winning that match there. Getting to this next one, another upgraded Mon, but we're going against it. Dragon Tail Steelix, and that thing rolls the hell out of Altaria. It always did, but with Psychic Fangs it's even better. We save swap into Reggie. As you'll notice, we prefer to actually use Lanturn as like our closer, and Reggie is a save swap because it's very good, not necessarily a flipping switch, but putting us in a situation where we don't need the shield and we can force a shield. And even after we've lost switch, or don't get switch back, not lose it because we didn't have it, if we don't get switch back, at least we get a shield advantage, as you'll notice is happening here. So we end up getting the shield advantage with the Focus Blast. We decided to actually shield ourselves because we were thinking we might be able to lock on farm down. Part of the problem is, even though we're running buffed Lanturn, we're running nerfed Registeel. So I don't want to build up these Zap Cannons because they're not a guaranteed debuff. Now it's a 66% chance, which is still pretty high, but I want to get these charge moves off, and if I can't get a guaranteed debuff, I need to, you know, throw the cheapest possible move, which in this case is the Focus Blast on Reggie. We're not able to lock on farm down, we're not able to flip switch there, but we are able to get switch shields down, and this opponent also gets core broken by Lanturn. They bring in Araquanid because they want to keep their Steelix lined up with the Altaria, and because of the fact that Surf is more spammy now, we can land that Surf damage on the Steelix and, you know, potentially beat it with our Lanturn. Now, they thought we were going to try and Thunderbolt to take out their Araquanid, but because their health was so low, I was looking to Surf it and potentially Soul Spark it down before they got to anything. They swapped and ended up catching the Surf. We throw double Surfs, and that ends up being GG because with all the damage that Lanturn is able to deal now with the back-to-back Surfs, I guess technically speaking, we got to Hydro Pump. We would have been able to land the Hydro Pump there also. We put the Steelix into Dragon Breath downrange, and we were able to get them to top left because Araquanid literally has zero play against Altaria being a flying dragon type. But yes, that is a small bite-sized collection of battles with Surf Lanturn. I really enjoy it. I think it'll be a relatively meta mon in Open Great League these days, and it is here to stay, so you need to watch out for it. I highly recommend you either try it out or you just prepare for it because, again, very reliable, very consistent, very viable Open Great League meta mon. Now, I got the XLs. I got to go make a hundo and run an Ultra League for some spice content. But on that note, let me know your thoughts on the battles. Let me know your thoughts on Lanturn. Let me know what other mods you want me to try out. I'm going to try them all out. Like I said, on my Twitch stream today, I literally tried out 5 of them, which is also why I only got 5 battles here. I did 5 battles per mon, and these were like the most competitive ones and also with the most meta team for legitimate elo success or ranking up success, if that's what you want, you know, this early on. So you got a double whammy. You got a good team here, and you got a new upgraded mon. I feel like I've used a lot of keywords very repeatedly throughout this entire YouTube video. But on that note, I think I covered everything. I felt like there was one other thing I wanted to say, but I think I've discussed all the main importances of Lanturn receiving Surf and a good team and how you can play it in a nice collection of battles there. So on that note, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, I'm trying to pump out this YouTube content. Actually, though, not copium. I'm not lying. My goal is to stay this time. 3rd time's a charm. I think it's like my 3rd comeback, maybe 4th, maybe 5th. You know, I stream on Twitch every day. And the teaching thing, all right, whatever. I'm dragging out this video and I'm making excuses. I'm just going to get back on the grind. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Preach!